Hey, welcome back to Hooked on Christmas. And today we're down here in my Christmas lab, and I wanted to show you guys some of the things that what it takes to actually put on a Christmas light show. Now, you may look behind me and say, "Boy, that's a jumbled mess," but to me, it's actually organized chaos. So we want to first start with what's the investment for a light show. Your investments can run varied. Now, if you're running incandescent lights, you're not going to be able to put that much light out in the yard. So if you're buying incandescents and say you get a strand of 100 lights, you can only put up to 300 lights before you actually start compromising the circuit. So what you want to do is you want to use LED. Now with LED, you get 100 lights in the strand. You can actually put up to 22 light sets in the strand. That actually adds up to 2,200 lights for one socket, one connection. So that you can see your light show can grow exponentially in size by using LED lights. Plus, they're very fuel efficient. Most people ask me what my fuel bill every year is, and my electric bill, excuse me, and it generally runs about $80 for the Christmas season. And that's because I got everything set on timers, and everything in that yard is LED. And the only thing that's running in this light show that's not LED is this laptop, those Lightorama boxes that I have, and the fans that blow the blow-up animals. So I'm running about $80, and I have solar on my roof too, so I'm doing a little balancing act with that. So I figure if I didn't have solar, it would probably be about maybe $150 a year for that particular Christmas season. But again, if you got everything on timers, that means you're not leaving your lights on until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you can keep it very efficient. Now, going to the more investment, what's the best time to buy your lights? If you're doing traditional lights, you can buy lights when they come out. Walmart, Home Depot, Big Lots, they're having lights out, probably coming out right now as we speak, since it's September. However, the best time to strike, if you're really planning your light show, and that's the key word here, is planning your light show out, is to know what colors you want to use: green, red, blue, cool white, warm white, purple. Know what colors you want to use, and then plan accordingly the day, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the day after Christmas to hit the stores. Generally, you're going to hit 50 to 70% off of lights that they have left over. So my general run the day after Christmas is Home Depot, Big Lots, Christmas Tree Shop, Walmart, and Ace Hardware on the way home. And I generally am getting anything from 50 to 70% off the lights that hit. So I go in with an understanding and a plan on what I'm going to get. And right now, what I've been doing is actually buying spares, because I've come to find out after a number of years, like all of a sudden a light strand go out. You want to have spares so you can quickly pull that out, put the new strand in, and then you can figure out what's going on with that light strand while your light show continually goes on. So you need to, so there's a lot of planning you need to do in there. Now, a simple way to do a Christmas light show would be what we did for about 10 years, and that's doing the Mr. Christmas. And Mr. Christmas you can buy at Home Depot, Amazon, Lowe's, and it's basically a box with a speaker in it, and it plays like 10 to 20 songs that's already pre-programmed, when it has 6 ports. And you can plug up whatever lights you have in your yard into those 6 ports, and it'll make those lights dance to the song that's pre-programmed. That's a quick and simple way to do a Christmas light show. You're going to get noticed, and you can have other lights around, and you can always mix the ports around every year to get a different show. Sorry, my furnace turned on, so I'm going to speak up a little louder. So, air conditioning, I'm sorry. So, now, what happens is, if you want to graduate to the next level, so in 2017, I found myself wanting to graduate to the next level. I found Lightorama, and Lightorama sells these boxes, and I got these boxes from Wowlights. That's how I found the the company Wowlights, and then they sell the Lightorama box. Now, these boxes here have 16 ports coming out of them, and so I currently, with 3 boxes, I have 48 ports. It comes with its own software, as you can see here, and no, the songs do not program themselves. I wanted to program our type of songs. So as me being an African American, I wanted some Temptations. I wanted some upbeat songs and everything. So I wanted some Jesus is the reason for the season. Talk to me, Kirk Franklin. And I wanted to put that out there for everyone to see. Now, so I had to find the boxes. So I found this, and I started with box number 1 and the software, placed it on this laptop. Now, I got this, and it was like June, July time frame, and I got you trying to configure it, and everything that I configured for that first light show was basically on someone talking. So when the guy in the Temptation said, "'Twas the night before Christmas," the lights went, "'Twas the night before Christmas," and it blinked. I had nothing to the beats of the music. It was all to the speaking parts. I didn't realize that looked a little crappy until I actually put everything else and went, "Oh Lord, that's a little crappy." The second thing I ran into is when posting this out on YouTube, you can't use normal songs like the Temptation Silent Night because of copyright issues. Now you got to make sure you don't have it up for monetary issues or anything like that. But what I found that if you search YouTube enough, you can find songs that have no copyright issues and they're just as good as the songs you want. And I've also, because I know how to mix the music, that I know that now you can take snippets of pieces of music, and that'll work too, as long as you're not using the music. Now, from a personal standpoint, all of us who are out here doing these Christmas light shows, we're not doing it for monetary gain. Most of us are doing it, and we're taking donations to give to charity. And so, my take on that is that, that shouldn't be a big of an issue, but you gotta do what you gotta do. All right. So, so picking out your music is something else you gotta plan to do. So that you make sure if you don't want to put anything out on YouTube, use any music you want, because the only people who are going to see it is the people driving by your house. The only people who are ever going to see it are the people driving by your house. All right, so again, I have these boxes. So now you want to know what's the investment on boxes like this. Now, when I did the video on the Twinkly lights, when I made the trellis trees, those lights were about $100 to $150, depending on where you get them from. And they're RGB lights, and that's probably about the cheapest you're going to get RGB. If you do RGB this way, you're going to pay some money. Trust me. Now, the initial box here and the software, I paid $260 for because I got it on discount when Wowlights ran a sale. So that was $260 software and the box. The second box I caught another sale in 2019 and I got it for $250. And then the third box I got during COVID, which they didn't run a sale, so I actually paid full price $300 for the box. So on that board right there is $800. Alright, so if you're going to step up to this point, there is a little bit of investment monetarily that you need to go to. You can get your lights reasonable, but you also want to, invest in the system itself. Now, from that standpoint, you have to really plan out how you're going to do this. I'm going to say this: you cannot think you can configure your songs a week before December starts. Cannot do it unless you're going to take that whole week off and do nothing but sit here with a cup of coffee and some eggnog and some snacks and just configure your heart out. You're not going to do it. This takes time, and I want to show you so you can see on the screen. You see all these little dots. I got purple, blue, orange, and white. This is the beats of the music. So from this mark here to that mark there, there's actually 6 beats in that music. Now you can change the beat settings once you learn the software based on the music you're listening to. So if you configure it one way, and then you know something, you know the beats are off, and when you're trying to put the, you may want to increase how many boxes are per second, or you might want to decrease them. It just depends on the music that you're configuring. But then you have to come in here, and you literally have to tell the software across all 48 ports, or 16 ports if that's what you're starting with when to turn on, when to turn off, when to shimmer. You can make something shimmer by simply coming and clicking the shimmer button, and you click those little, and when that hits that beat, it'll shimmer and then turn back off. So anywhere you see a box, that's when a light is turning on. And everywhere that's empty, the lights are not turning on at all. I rarely ever have all 48 ports on at the same time. That's a serious load on my circuit, and I do have a dedicated circuit in my shop for just this setup right here. But I don't. But it's really never a need to put them all on at the same time. I may have all the white on at one time, all the blue on at one time, all the purple on at one time. But it's really like, why, it would look like a confused mess if I turned everything on at the same time. So that's your initial investment. And to program a song, doing it in this method, and again, I've learned the song, I've gotten better with the programming of the music as I've learned this. So, and there's plenty of tutorials out on YouTube that will show you how to configure your music. It will show you how to configure the boxes. It'll show you what needs to be done. The key point is you selecting the song and planning out your time to come down and configure the song. So, I generally come down, I generally start looking for my music at the end of February and into March. By the time the end of March gets, I pretty much know what I'm going to do, and I actually plug it in from my computer system and stuff in the other room where I do my mixing and everything. I come here, plug it in here, upload it to the system, and then I start configuring. So this one is one of the new songs that I'm doing this year, and I'll give you a hint. It's called Ode to Joy, but it's a mix. It's a mix between 3 different songs. And I went and checked the copyrights and all this other stuff to make sure that it's not copyright. So this is going to be, I really like it. And but it takes time, so you need to plan yourself out. So you don't need to try to come down here and like, oh, I'm going to spend 3 hours. No, you come down here for 30 minutes to an hour, and you want to spend at least 3 to 4 hours a week. So if you start like I do in April, May time frame, and you just come down here for an hour, work on it, go away. Come back a day later, 2 days later, work on it for an hour, go away. By the time the end of November gets here, you've configured all the songs that you want. Another key point is try to keep your songs 3 minutes or less. Again, I said like I did Silent Night. That's a 6-minute long song. That was a long time trying to configure that song, that thing, especially the way I was doing it. So that's double the time of a normal 3-minute song. So if you can find little things that's a minute and a half, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, that's perfect. They're perfect. And you plan to just come down and configure. Now, the more you configure, the more the better. Now, there are 2 ways to represent what the light patterns on when using this software. The way in the software is that you can actually take a picture of your house, import it into the software, and make a 3-dimensional image, and then put the lights where you want to put it. And then when you turn it on, it'll actually show you the pictures on your house so you can actually see it. And I don't like that. So I have this jumbled mess here. This is organized chaos. However, this represents all the white the purple and the blue lights that are in my that are going to be connected to these 3 boxes. This is, I like seeing the lights move. It allows me to see when stuff turns on, when stuff turns off. So say if I got a beat going on and I think I'm on beat, I'll play it, and then I can watch the lights. And then if the light doesn't turn on when I'm on the beat then I knew I'm off beat. Sometimes I caught myself at Christmas putting the light show out in previous years, and then standing out there going, "That's off. That's off. Oh wow, that's off." So I had to make adjustments right then and there. So what I'm doing now with the lights like this is I can actually see when something's off or when it's on. And if you ask my son, I'm a little bit obsessed because one day he stood at this door and watched me, and I was so into the song that I was configuring, "Oh Holy Night," that I didn't even notice he was at the door. And I was literally like I was a conductor, conducting the lights. You can really get into it, and it actually becomes a little fun after a while. So it's not, like, oh, this is so labor intensive. It actually becomes fun because now you can see it, and you can imagine people's faces and kids' faces when they come by and go, "Ooh, look at that." That is what really gives me joy. When I get that random knock on the door, I really appreciate what you've done for the neighborhood. I really love the light show. Those are the best times I get at Christmas time, is that random knock on the front door or hit the doorbell saying, "I really love what you did in the yard." Oh, how did you do it? I've had people come by and say, "Could you explain to me how you do this?" So it's really a lot of fun. Now, another thing is too that most people ask me, say, "Aren't you disturbing the neighbors with all that music playing over and over again from like 6 o'clock to 10:30?" No, I'm not. Now with the Mr. Christmas, you would be, so you gotta adjust the volume because everything's in this canned box. But with this unit, you can put a speaker outside if you want. But I generally use this little FM transmitter. I got this off of Amazon. I think about $40, $50. This is actually my second one. The first one I had ran 2 years. When I plugged it up last year, boom, so I had to hurry up and get it, get another one and bring it in here. So I'm actually considering a bigger version of this for next year, but I figure I'm gonna get another year out of this. This actually transmits an FM signal 500 yards away from my home. So if you picture 500 yards in a radius, that's 5 football fields long in a radius. So if you're coming into the neighborhood and you get close within 500 yards of my house, you start hearing Christmas music. So I use 88.1 and I transmit on 88.1. So if you come up to my house and you roll down the window expect to hear music, you're not gonna hear nothing. You just see lights moving. Ooh. But if you look at the sign that I have out there, and that's very important, you need to have a sign out there to tell people tune to whatever station you choose, and they tune it, then all of a sudden, boom, the music comes on. This stays on 24/7. It's a part of the setup, and it literally allows me not to disturb my neighbors, but at the same time, you can sit in your car in the comfort of the heat in your car and watch the light show and really enjoy it without standing outside trying to freeze to death. So this is a good investment. And again, you don't have to spend a lot of money. This was about $40, $45. They have bigger units if you want bigger units and if your pockets are deep like that. But again, I only use this 1 month out of every year. So a $40, $50 investment. I took the battery out because I wanted to drain. But that's it. So again, this is a labor of love. We're going to be showing a video later where we have everything stored between my shed, down here in the basement because there's some stuff stored over here in the corner over here, and as well as out in the garage. And we're going to show how we put everything out in the yard. We're going to kind of do a time lapse over the month of November as we're putting things out. And it is a passion, and you got to have the passion for it. But it's something that once you get into it, it actually just becomes a hobby, and it's literally a hobby of mine now. And I actually look forward to getting down here and figuring and what it's going to look like. I look forward to putting new things out in the yard. I love it when my neighbors come by and say, "What you got for this year?" And I said, "You'll see." And I actually now have inspired my next two neighbors down from me to start putting out Christmas lights. So now, where I was kind of like the only lone light in the middle of the of my section in my neighborhood, now I got other ones lighting up too. So it's really it's becoming really cool and I really enjoy it. My son and my daughter, even though they may grumble, "Oh, Dad," they love it. They keep coming up with suggestions all the time. My son, even this year, we're gonna be decorating the shed this year in my backyard because my son said, "Dad, why don't we decorate the shed?" So we're gonna be decorating the shed. He also said, "Dad, we should put a slide and have like penguins coming down the slide." And I went, "Okay, keep it open your mouth here." And he went, "Oh no, I'm creating more work for myself." But he's into it. My daughter's into it. And as long as I got my health and strength, I'm going to keep doing it because I really enjoy doing this. So again, if you're looking at it like this is really labor intensive, "Oh, I don't have time," then of course you probably don't want to do it. But if you look at it as this is just a part of Christmas and you love doing it, because this is the reason why my show is called the Joy of Christmas Light Show. Every year it's called the Joy of the Christmas Show because it's the joyous time of the year. This is the celebration of our Lord and Savior's birthday. So we should be putting on a party. And I, for one, am going to put on a party every year until I can't. And if I had more yard, oh my God. And I'm still trying to figure out how I can put more into the yard that I have. So again, I just wanted to create this video so you can get a glimpse into what the cost is to put together something like this. And again, these boxes is a one-time cost. I've had these boxes going on now, this is the 4th year. They don't break, they haven't had an issue. I hadn't had to get a spare part for them. Lightorama makes a great product. So I hadn't had to do it. I hadn't had to change the software. I get free updates on the software. So that's like a one-time investment. The thing about it is that you have to make sure you keep your light inventory up because lights do wear out over a period of time. So as long as you got your lights ready, you're good to go. And you store your lights right. And again, in that next video, I'm going to show you how to store the lights better. If you store your lights right, you won't have a problem with your lights either. So it's just really a labor of love. And then, so I hope that this video has inspired some of you to get out there, put your own light show together, whether you use the Mr. Christmas version, or you find another unit, or you use the Lightorama version, and get out there and decorate your house for Christmas so you can be hooked too.